Joe, we got your hot dogs.
Happy 5-year Jobo. So excited to celebrate 5 years with you. Here are my top 5 things about you. First and foremost, you were my first CubeMate. When I started about 5 years ago, you were sitting right next to me, and I love sitting next to you and listening to you on calls. You have a finesse on the call that goes wonders. You can't ever tell how the call went because it all ends the same, but it was so great listening to you. You were a great example to me as I was beginning my first foray in sales. Secondly, we share common loves for Circuit City and HR. So as your first CubeMate, or you were my first CubeMate. Anyways, loved talking to you about Circuit City and the demise of Circuit City, and we shared a lot of good laughs there. Thirdly, you're a flat line. Love you, bud, but like I am here, up and down all the time, and you're like here, like all the time. That's what I love about you. It's what makes you Jobo. But I can't ever tell what you're thinking or feeling because you're a flat line all the time. And I've never seen you angry, but you do have a great laugh. Fourth, you have an excellent point of view. I love coming to you, Joe, to get your take on any situation because you always have really sound, really good, fair advice, and so I really appreciate your point of view. And lastly, but certainly not least, I think you are extremely well respected. I know I have a lot of respect for you. I know your team does. You can see it every day in the way that they carry themselves throughout the company, but most importantly, the rest of the company does too. You're so well respected. Your flat line, your sense of humor, your great approach and point of view to so many things makes you this well respected individual, and it's an honor to get to work with you. So happy 5 years, Joe.
On your 5-year anniversary, I've been asked to share a few of my favorite memories and qualities about you. So the first would just be your overall dedication. There are many Monday mornings where I'll get here and think I'm going to be the first one in the office, and lo and behold, you've beat me here by half an hour or an hour. And even on the snow day yesterday, Jim sent out that email about who was the bravest soul who was still here. I know that you were already here for a few hours just typing away. So your dedication is definitely unparalleled. Something else, a quality that I definitely appreciate about you is your ability to always be super collaborative. There's rarely a time that I'll walk up to your desk and ask you something or bounce an idea off you and not walk away with a new appreciation or a new vision for a way to take something or a different strategy to approach. Something else a lot of you guys might not know about Joe is he's definitely a risk taker. So that's always great for the team. It helps us to think about those new strategies and places to go and things to do. Kind of a funny memory about this is I've now spent a few President's Clubs with Joe, 2 of which were in the Bahamas at the casino. So there's one night I can remember very distinctly from our first trip there. We're at the blackjack table. We spent a few hours amassing quite a few chips, and on the last play of the evening, Joe gets this devilish look in his eyes and pushes all of his chips into the center of the table. Now, the dealer got 21, so all those chips got taken, and I remember thinking, that's terrible. And fast forward 12 months later, and there the risk taker Joe is again, the exact same setup, exact same scenario, and I get the same devilish look from him as he pushes all of his chips in again, lo and behold, losing again to the dealer. But I think it's just a funny thought about, once he gets a good conviction and a good feeling about something, he's a strong advocate for it, definitely will go to bat for that concept. Joe and I started on the same exact day in 2008, December 1st. I remember walking into the lobby, meeting Miss Grace, and then meeting Joe. I don't think either of us would have imagined what kind of a wild ride the last 5 years would have been. But it's truly been awesome. It's great to work with you every single day, and I can't wait for the years to come. So congrats again, Joe. Happy 5 years.
Hey there, Jobo. I have been asked to say a few things about you. So I think we're doing the top 5 things about Jobo. So I'm going to start with some of the more unusual, more funny things that people may not know about Jobo. First thing that comes to mind is Joe does not have a very diverse palate when it comes to food. I have seen Joe eat a hot dog every day at lunch for at least 3 months. He has now changed to chicken patties, which was a shocker, and he gets his chicken patties from the Avanti Market, which is bad. Next funny thing about Joe is I sit right by him, Sam sits right by him, and we have James that sits right by him. Sometimes Sam and I will ask Joe a question 3-4 times in a row before he actually hears us. So we've decided to use a different kind of voice when we talk to Joe. So we found that if you go like this, "Hey Joe," he responds a lot quicker. So that's how we talk to Joe. The next thing I would say about Joe is definitely more serious, and Joe is just a really great strategist. He can think outside the box like no one else I know. I absolutely love going to Joe to get advice on tough accounts. He is amazing. Another thing about Joe that is just amazing is his ability to lead. He definitely has a way of just relating to you and making you feel at ease. He's one of the calmest people I've ever met. I wish I could be more like him in that regard. And then finally, I think Joe is just overall a really great person. He is a really